Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? Joey Shuckenbuck is back here with another video for you guys. And, guys, we are here to talk about the game that wrapped up a few hours ago between the Panthers and the Ravens. Again, I'm just going to say it from the beginning. A win is a win, all right? I know it wasn't pretty. There were a lot of issues today. I know, but a win is a win. And we actually, finished the game stronger than ever. And then that's, the big takeaway. A problem with this team just repetitively is, we played great for 3 quarters, but then we fold in the fourth quarter. We played our best football of the game in the fourth quarter today. Obviously, it would have been nice had we played a more complete game, or at least we got it going earlier. But hey, it was really refreshing to see us play our best football in the fourth quarter today because we are not used to seeing that happen. Even when we hang on and win in the fourth quarter, we have known to be very shaky. But anyways, so we'll start with the concerns about this. Obviously, a very down day for the offense. Though I do think one thing that's flying under the radar is Lamar Jackson actually did not play badly today at all. He had a solid completion percentage. He threw for 200 something yards, no touchdowns, and then of course he did throw the one interception. It was just kind of a great play by the defensive lineman. He threw it right to the nose tackle. He was looking for Andrews, who was open, but then he was trying to throw it over his head, and he just intercepted it. So, it was a good read, I think, by Jackson. Just kind of a bad throw. He should have sidearmed it or gotten it around him somehow. But besides that, Jackson was pretty good today. He didn't miss a lot of throws. He made a lot of nice throws, and he didn't turn the ball over besides that dumb interception. So, in general, I actually thought Lamar Jackson played pretty well today. But the offense in general struggled big time. Obviously, the running game was not itself today. We started to get it going in the end, though. Kenyon Drake broke a few runs. Justice Hill broke a few runs. No Gus Edwards today. I was expecting him to play, but we held him out with the hamstring injury. So I think we definitely missed him today, but I don't think it was. It's not. I don't. As much as I love Edwards, I don't think that. It's like if we had him, our running game would magically be amazing. I think the offensive line run blocking was not great today. Definitely not as good as usual. To be fair, the Panthers do have a good front. Derek Brown and Brian Burns, of course, very good, two very good players. But I would have liked to see us do better on the ground than we did today. But, what can I say? And as I said, a win is a win. And I think I mentioned this last night in my game picks video. I was somewhat expecting a slow start from the offense today. Coming off a bye, I could have seen us being a bit rusty. Which we were clearly, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. I kind of thought we would snap out of it after maybe the first quarter. We never really snapped out of it, to be quite honest with you, but we at least played well enough in the end where we scored that one touchdown to make it a two-possession game, and then the defense shut the door. So it was good enough, but obviously that's not going to be good enough if we want to beat the good teams and win in the playoffs. So we're going to have to fix that up. But again, no big complaints here. But of course, it's never a Ravens game without injuries, and there's definitely a pretty high concern level right now. Two guys that we're watching, Ronnie Stanley will start. It's just the poor guy, man. All of this hard work that he has done to get back. He tried to come back, but then he couldn't, so he had to get another surgery. It's been almost 2 years since he made his. Actually, now it's been over 2 years. But when he first made his last start, it was a little bit less than 2 years. But regardless, he did so much hard work, such a long rehab. He finally came back, and he was dealing. But guess what? He got hurt again today. The same ankle. And the most depressing thing is it was almost the same exact play that happened in November of 2020 when TJ Watt rolled up over him. Literally, it was almost the same thing. Pressure from the right. This time Jackson got sacked. It was Brian Burns, I think. Then he got pushed into him, and Stanley's foot got rolled up on it. It was so similar, which is not a good sign because Stanley, the first injury, was so serious, and it was also the same ankle. However, it's not completely demoralizing because apparently Harbaugh said he had no updates, but then in Lamar Jackson's postgame interview, apparently he said that he and Stanley talked, and Stanley says, yeah, I should be fine. But I'm still skeptical. Honestly, I am not banking on it yet. Obviously, I think if it was a brutally serious injury, we probably would have known by now, but I'm still not shutting the door, and I'm still trying to prepare for us to be without him. It's really a shame, man. He did so much hard work, and he was silently, Stanley was actually doing really, really well at the left tackle position, not letting up anything. He was good in run blocking. And then, of course, McCary stepped in, and he's a very serviceable guy, but we definitely want Stanley in there. So we'll see what the injury was. I mean, it's obviously an ankle injury. We'll see. We'll find out the severity of it, hopefully tomorrow, maybe even tonight. But prayers up for Ronnie Stanley. And unfortunately, it does not end there. Kyle Hamilton, who was probably playing his best game all season. Hamilton is a guy who has been playing better and better every week. Got off to a little bit of a rocky start, but he has been really, really good the past several weeks. He had a great game against the Saints. He was good against the Bucks as well, and he did not skip a beat coming into this game against Carolina. He was making plays all over the field. So he was making almost every tackle. He had great awareness. Really liked what I saw from Kyle Hamilton. But then he got hurt on his own. Not on his own. Himself, I should say. And just another depressing part where, Jackson rolled into Ronnie Stanley to hurt him. And then this was a similar scenario just on defense. Roquan Smith rolled into Kyle Hamilton's leg to hurt him. It's like we're beating ourselves. And obviously it was not intentional, and it's just the way the game works. I understand. But Hamilton, he too got rolled up on. Roquan Smith kind of like ran into him, and he was clutching his leg, which is never a good sign. He was walking up very gingerly. He didn't have to get carted off at least, but not a good sign at all. And we didn't hear anything about Hamilton, but the fact that we didn't hear anything, we haven't heard anything positive either. I definitely worry about Kyle Hamilton's injury severity. And again, he had really been coming on strong, so it's a big shame. So prayers up to Kyle Hamilton. Really hope he gets well soon, and hopefully it's not a serious injury. So the safeties now, it was really Geno Stone and Chuck Clark who had to step in because, of course, Hamilton went down. Marcus Williams is still out. So obviously the injuries just continue to mount. We can't stay healthy, man. I don't know. I don't know if we're cursed or if it's just our training staff sucks. I do think our training staff does kind of suck, but dude, I don't know what is going on with these injuries, but we just cannot stay healthy. It's so demoralizing. But then of course, now let's get to some positives. I feel like I've been rambling about the injuries forever now. Defense. Wow, this defense has really turned a corner. After such a rough start, really, really concerning. The defense absolutely dominated today, man. Only 3 points scored for the Panthers, but it's just more impressive that we just forced so many punts. We ended up forcing 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter. The defense was dominating today, man. It's so I miss this Ravens defense so much. Back in a few years ago, the strength of this team was the defense. The offense was always very mediocre. The defense was excellent. Then, the past couple of years, it had kind of been the other way around. Now, this year, I'm hopeful that we can kind of both be good at the same time. But regardless, the defense, man, is really stifling right now. And what's really encouraging for me is the linebackers, who were probably the biggest liability in the defense, earlier on, are now probably the biggest strength of the defense. Patrick Queen has been balling lately, man. Absolutely balling. It's the strangest thing with him. He's pretty much going through the same regime he went through last year. Gets off, plays well week 1. Okay, the first game of the season he's good, but then the next few weeks he's pretty bad, and then he starts balling again. I don't know what it is. It's pretty much been the same thing this year. He was good against the Jets, but then had a stretch where he was not playing well at all, and now he has just been dominating the past several weeks. Of course, us getting Roquan Smith definitely helped. I think Roquan Smith has kind of tutored him a little bit, mentored him. They know how to work together, so that's great. Roquan Smith has been very good. He played well again today. He did miss a couple tackles, but he also was involved in almost every play, and he did make several tackles. So I really like what I've seen from Roquan Smith, and I'm, again, really, really glad we got him in our linebacking core with what looked like a big liability to start the season is now looking like a big strength. And the pass rush has been a lot better as well. Again, it was really good week 1. Then it had a stretch where it wasn't so good. I feel like the past several weeks it's been really good. Today we had half a sack from Houston. He shared a sack with Queen. Calais Campbell, you don't see this that often. Campbell got a sack. Just simply won a 1v1 and got in there for the sack. Jason Pierre-Paul got a sack. Who else? I know Matabuke had a couple of hurries. I don't think he had any sacks, but he was in there for making his presence felt. Yeah, I know JPP got a sack. Houston got a half a sack. But the pass rush in general, I think we were getting a lot of good pressure with only 4 guys, so that's great to see. The pass rush has been the biggest issue with this defense for several years now. I really think this year it's starting to turn a corner, and that's my hope going forward. I mean, the Panthers' offensive line is obviously not known to be very good, but still getting consistent pressure on Mayfield, forcing him to make errant throws and forcing him to make mistakes, which we did. Of course, in the third quarter, that huge interception by Marlon Humphrey. Humphrey jumped the route, obviously, but part of it was because Mayfield, his first read was taken away. There was pressure coming. He had to get rid of it, and Humphrey jumped it. So it was a great play on both sides. And it's just really nice to see the secondary and pass rush working together. And that's something that's been an issue the past few years. I really think that we saw that today. And then, Humphrey played his heart out. And then Marcus Peters led up a few plays in coverage, but he also made the play of the game, forcing that fumble on, I think it was first down. I forget who the receiver was, but it was a huge play by Peters. He was originally ruled down. They didn't even formally review it. They just changed the ruling on the field, and it was definitely a fumble. And at first, I didn't think it was a fumble. I kind of thought he was down, but then but after looking at the replay, it was absolutely a fumble. The ball was loose well before his knee hit the ground, so that was great to see, and I'm glad they corrected it. Officiating today, I don't think was very good at all. And I know earlier in the week I found out that it's going to be Jerome Boger as the head ref for this game, the one who calls out the flags and everything. And a lot of people were upset about it because he calls so many penalties, and it was kind of similar today. Boger seems like a fine guy, but I don't think he and his crew are very good. And I hate to be the guy who's like, oh, what if, and they screwed it up. But basically, the drive that Stanley got hurt, if we're being honest, that never should have really happened, because before that play, it was a 3rd down and 4, and then Jackson was rolling out and he hit Justice Hill for a first down easily. We would have been like inside the 10, I think, but it got called back because Morgan Moses was supposedly called for a face mask, but looking at the replay, it was not a face mask. The edge rusher, I don't know if it was Burns or whoever it was, but he kind of just slipped down, so it may have looked like he grabbed the face mask, but Moses did not. It was definitely not a hold either. It was more of just the edge rusher just fell down kind of. It was a bad call, and then because of that penalty, that's a 15-yard penalty, face mask of 15. So then because of that, we had a 3rd down and 19, and that was the play that Burns came in unblocked. Don't ask me how that happened. Burns came in unblocked, and then Jackson fell over and rolled over Stanley's ankle. So had they not called that stupid face mask, that play never would have happened. And I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh, the ref screwed it up, because we still won the game. But things add up, and actions do have consequences. And I really think if they didn't call that stupid face mask, Stanley probably would have been just fine. There's obviously you could say he could have gotten hurt later in the game, which he could have, but that's just like any other player. So yeah, the officiating I thought was pretty mediocre today, but it wasn't a huge deal. We still got the win, so I'm cool about that. And I'm glad they corrected the fumble on the field with Marcus Peters, because it was absolutely a fumble. Marlon Humphrey, man, continues to play really, really well. I'm so sick. People were disrespecting him so much after one quote-unquote down year last year, which is way overblown, by the way. And then today, man, he was balling. He got that big interception. He makes some tackles. Love what I see from Marlon Humphrey. So the defense, I am really, really enthusiastic about. We've been playing really, really well, and we held them to this was probably our best performance. We held them to 3 points, so that's very impressive. But also, we're starting to get healthier. The issue is every time we start to get healthier, new guys go down, and this time it was Kyle Hamilton. Hopefully he's okay. Again, we'll find out soon enough. Same thing with Ronnie Stanley. But guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I am out. Have a great night. Thank you so much for watching. Go Ravens, and hopefully just everyone can get healthy, and hopefully the reports are what we want to hear. And then for the next video, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do my game picks beforehand, like Wednesday or Thursday for Thanksgiving, because of course there's a triple header for Thanksgiving this week. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. If not, look for my Twitter post. I'll do my picks for those 3 games, or I'll be able to do my video before. But regardless, I'll either see you guys on Wednesday or Thursday or next Saturday, and have a great Thanksgiving.